Chapter 5. Van Deventer's place is another processing factory a little bigger than Uncle Mike's. It is a place the boy has passed many times, peering in past the large white gate looking out onto the main road, but he has never been inside. The 7 fabriek owners of the baai are all here. Van Deventer, Mostert, Weatherall Thomas, the Scarfsma brothers, Niku and Mark, Uncle Mike, and old Tace Moka, who has been in the baai longer than anyone. They have come in their shiny pickup trucks and they are worried men. They are clustered together around Van Deventer's truck in the forecourt, discussing the sea. Uncle Mike and the boys stay seated at Uncle Mike's little motor. From there they study the gathering of the town's fisher kings. The grouped men wear boots like Uncle Mike's, felt-lined and snug, and strong jeans that cover stocky legs, and pocketed shirts and brimmed hats, and all of them have gold bands circled around their ring fingers. Their fingers are thick, their arms, their hands no work. These are predatory men, but today they are prey. You know them. I know Mr. Moka, murmurs the boy, remembering the day the old man came to the fabriek. He had greeted the boy and held out his hand to him. His eyes were blue and sparkled with kindness. The boy had liked him then, and likes him still. The boy is nervous. He is unaccustomed to the clothing Uncle Mike has given him. A pair of shining white running shoes, and jeans bitten in at the waist with a newly punched belt too big for his lean hips, and a clean shirt. When last did he wear a clean shirt? A shirt without holes? What must I do? You caught a full load today. Out of everyone that went to sea, in the whole baai today the catch was 5. Not even the foreigners caught today. He points to the men. They asked for you to come. They asked for me? They want to know how you did it. But I told Uncle, I just got lucky. Uncle Mike snorts. Lucky? You are not lucky. Uncle Mike brings a packet of mints out of his denim pocket. He tears it open at the top and offers one to the boy. Just tell them how you did it, where you caught, what line. Just tell them. We will see what we can get out of it. He pops the mint into his mouth. Come, let's go stand with them. The mint is sharp, dissolving on his tongue with a sting he does not like. His anxiety is sharp also. Come, repeats Uncle Mike as he climbs up out of the little car and strides over to them. The boy swallows. He clicks the door open and steps out into the hot sun. The men regard him from under their brimmed hats and behind their loud smiles. They watch as he tentatively closes the door and sidles over to them. The boy hears them snicker. Who is this little fool to be meeting with men? Abruptly, the boy halts his stride. He crouches to tie a shoelace that does not need tying, full of the instinct with which he can hook any fish. He has stopped to listen. He can hear their sniggering, see their posturing, even their anger. But there is something more. Eat, they all sigh, under the laughing, right at the core of them. Eat, they whisper in fear. Eat. The boy smiles. His long shadow his companion on the sun-swept concrete. He realizes that he knows them. They are animals, just like every other creature. He knows how to catch those that are hungry. We just don't have the capital to compete with them, says Van Deventer. They are first world. The men are seated in Van Deventer's boardroom. They are spread around a hexagonal cluster of triangular tables, a cloth over it all, each perched on a white plastic chair. The room is too small for them. The walls crowd them in. The table is too big. Windows cover 2 sides. Beyond them the sorting hall lies idle. In the old days, in the season, it would run night and day with rotating crews. Mikey, what progress with your fridge? Uncle Mike shrugs like they do, meaty shoulders raised and iron fingers threading through each other. It's all guesswork. I'm making progress, But for a reliable system, we are looking at years, not months. The men shrug and grind their fingers and look worried together. The fish stocks are not what they used to be, says fat Mr. Mostert, stroking his moustache. In the years gone by, the fish are out there, blusters Wetherall Thomas, jabbing a finger to the table. We can see them on the monitors. Less fish, yes, but fish. Why are they not biting? The eyes of the six shift to Uncle Mike. He looks over his shoulder to where the boy stands at the door. Johnny boy, where did you make your catch today? Tell us what happened. The boy clears his throat. He has been waiting for them to call on him, and the hooks of fear have been waiting also. Now the fear comes banging in his belly and up through his chest. It closes his throat and puts sweat on his brow. They are hungry, he tells himself desperately. They are hungry and all they want is to eat. I was at the hut today, at the island, he whispers into his sparse beard. I laid nets all morning but got no cray, no nothing, even though I could hear them. What's he saying? Barks Van Deventer. Mikey, what's he saying? Give him a chance, says Uncle Mike. Johnny, speak up, boy. Come closer. The boy nods and takes a small step towards them. I threw lines in the North Channel, he whispers, no more loudly than before. At the island, even out by the deep reef. The deep reef. Nothing. Can't hear him, says Niku. Speak up, Johnny, says Uncle Mike. The boy takes a deep breath. He opens his mouth wide, but the sound does not come. He doesn't speak good, growls Uncle Mike. He says he was at the hut by the island. He caught nothing. He threw lines in the North Channel and even out by the deep reef. Nothing. Well, what did your monitor say? Was there fish? Asks Fat Mostert. I have no monitor, whispers the boy. Did he say no monitor? He doesn't fish with a monitor, says Uncle Mike. I know the island and I know the fish, continues the boy, his eyes closed and his fists at his sides. They were there but not biting. It was because of the wind. They were waiting for the wind to turn. Did he say wind? Asks Mocha. Red water, yes, berg wind. Carry on, boy. I had to wait for it to turn. The fish don't like it building up. They want it to blow. I waited for them, and just before the wind came, the seven lean in, food on their minds. Then they started. The boy pauses, remembering the 1,000 bodies glittering in the sun. I caught the whole boat in 45 minutes. I was catching them just arm deep, one breath after dropping the line. But everyone had their lines out when the wind turned. Why did you catch so well? Van Deventer asks from his place at the head of the table. He knows fish, says Uncle Mike, cutting off the boy's reply. He is my best fisherman. No one at my place can outcatch him. And I would bet no one in the bay either. The boy shrugs. His slim shoulders reach up to meet his ears, his fingers folding together like wings. I was just lucky. Lucky, snorts Mostert. That's not lucky. That's a miracle. The talk drifts away from the boy and onto the foreigners' ships. The boy sits back and listens. Eat, he hears. The meeting ends with the seven having decided nothing, but having left their fears in a pile together on the table, burned up in 3 great ashtrays. Once again the boy steps into the little motor with Uncle Mike, and once again they take the snaking road home. What will they do? It's a tough thing to get everyone to decide. Around them dusk has settled. Lights shine in the few homes scattered around the central convenience store. Bright rooms, inside them fishermen and fisherwomen tending to their children, attending to supper. The day was long and hot, and now the night is here to cool them. Uncle Mike clicks his indicator, and to its ticking he pulls into the convenience store parking lot, alongside the open sweep of the petrol station. You did well today. He removes a palm of money from his breast pocket, holding it out to the boy. You are still far behind on your quota, but you deserve this. A bonus for your catch today, and for coming with me. You did well. You talked well. The boy takes it. Fish well tomorrow. I'm looking forward to another big catch. By the neon light of the petrol station, the boy looks to the hills. The settling night is warm. The crest of the hills is far above, a line of dark against the purple sky. With a smile, he places the notes in his pocket. Money. He has not had money before, and now he has a plan. The following day, once the catching is done, the boy hands that same money to Mr. Hofmeyer of the hardware shop. Together they select a pile of lumber. The boy carts the wood home. Instead of the distant hills to his left and the glittering ocean to his right, he sees the whorls and knots of wood in his mind's eye. Once back at his hut, he unloads the lumber onto his patch of sand. Having brewed a cup of coffee, he seats himself at the rough table and allows the lumber to speak. Slowly, joint for joint and nail for nail, the shape of it forms in his mind. Finally, it is done, and all he must do is build it. He sets to. Days pass in the little village of the Bay, as the sun replaces the moon and the winds wash the land clean. One morning, as dawn is breaking, he waits for her at the landing zone. Beside him he has the product of a week's labor. Standing resplendent on varnished wheels is a beautiful cart, fashioned on the design of his old one. There is a load bed ready to transport fish, and a yoke for him to pull it, but thereafter it is so much more. Every panel is carved, the sea's creatures swimming through the wood. The load bed is meticulously sealed so that it is watertight, and built into the center is a second chamber, double sealed, in which a second load of water can be held, hidden from the sun. On the sides of the cart are pegs and clips holding all he might need for a 2-day journey: water skins, rope, rifle, pan. It is a cart that is the best of him, made for her. He has chosen a Saturday when he knows they will be alone. The water is still and low, kelp floating in thick islands in the shallows and glistening in slowly moving clumps. Across the horizon the dawn is coming, pink. He feels her before he sees her. She is in the bay, making her careful way to him. She slides between the kelp, a graceful hand parting their long stalks as she moves through, aware of him also. She is nervous. He is nervous. Don't be nervous, she whispers from out there, down there. Don't be nervous, he replies, and smiles. He holds the yoke of his new cart in his hand. Absently he kneads the smooth sanded wood. How will it be, he wonders. Will she want to come? She breaks the surface, water streaming off her. Her eyes are nervous, but they are eyes just for him. They cannot touch, not yet. He has placed a brick as a brake against the new cart's wheel, and now he tips it away with his toe. Released, the new cart bounces down the little slipway. Cold water swirls through its open rear door, filling the load bed. From the shore he pushes so that it submerges fully. Will you get in? Tentatively she glides into the enclosed cube of new wood. Still, they have not touched. I'm going to close the door. She bites her lip as he wades into chest height. He is now near her, near enough to touch. Reaching out, he releases a bolt, first on one side and then on the other. He works the door into place, making sure that it is sealed. Now they are only inches apart. She reaches out to him, her fingers through his hair, her mouth on his. Her mouth is the ocean. She is the ocean. The world explodes with the coming sunrise. Her eyes shine with love. His eyes shine with love. Morning. she breathes. His wet face breaks into a shaggy dog smile. Morning. He puts his cheek against hers. How warm it is. How are you going to pull me out? He holds a finger in front of his smiling face. Watch and see. She giggles. He swims excitedly around the new cart until he finds his footing and then sloshes up the slipway. I thought of everything. He attacks his waiting winch that is looped by chain to a tree, a frayed orange and white rope trailing down to the new cart where it is tied by bowline to a tow hitch. The rope rises up, taut, as he whirls the handle, and slowly the cart begins to move. She holds onto the lip, peering over the edge as the water falls away, and suddenly she is above the land. Her knuckles whiten on the wood. For the first time, she is out of the water. The cart jolts on the uneven slipway. She has never felt that before, the jolt of gravity and air, the kick of it. What if it leaks? He shakes his head and looks up to her green eyes. I promise you. How will you pull it? She swirls from side to side in her sealed cube. For the first time, the ocean is over there. I'm strong. I have been pulling my cart all my life. He threads the rope out of the winch, winding it in a loop and hanging it from a peg on the cart's side. Then he takes up the yoke and puts it across his chest. He leans forward. The weight builds in his legs, through his back, and finally merges in the center of the yoke. The cart begins to move as his bare toes pull through the sand. She turns to see the ocean receding while the sun frees herself from the lightning bay. Where are we going? It's my turn to take you somewhere you have never been, he says.